cavalry down 3, bring in Adrian Aucoin?
I hope so. No, I mean, obviously I'm hoping to play next game. It's been real frustrating watching.
How frustrating. And what have you seen from your vantage point, Adrian?
Well, it's been frustrating on many levels. I think obviously we, in the first couple games we didn't play close to where we wanted to. I thought we were better last game. The way the bounces have gone and the way other things that we can't control have gone have been pretty frustrating.
Are they almost playing your game in a sense, the way they're coming after you?
Absolutely. They're playing some good hockey. Everybody's working hard. They're doing the little things right. And, that's the way we like to dictate the game. And I think we've let them control the flow a little bit too much.
Will you tell Tip that you're ready, or is it going to be Tip's decision whether to go?
It's always the coach's decision. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's always tough to keep any player out, regardless of where they're at. So it always comes down to whether the coach thinks you're able or not.
Let's say coach leaves it up to you. What do you say?
I'm ready to go. I mean, I would have played in game 1 if I could have. So that's just the way it is.
At this point in the series, there's not been much hope, and there's no glimmer of hope. You're down 0-3. How do you manage to find some hope in this and say we got to come together and win one?
Yeah, well, I think obviously if you look at the 3-0, there's not much hope, but we've done some good things still. I think a lot of times when the games have been tied, if we would have got to bounce one way or the other, there's definitely some hope. And until you lose the 4th game, there's always hope. So I don't think we're looking at it that way.
What was the move that you sensed around the guys yesterday? Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of guys here today, but what have you sensed just the attitude is right now?
Well, I think the attitude is we can win. But that being said, there was an attitude of a little bit of frustration. And like I said, there was some things we couldn't control. And sometimes those are the toughest, because if you go out there and don't play well, you can blame yourselves. But when it's other things that you can't blame yourself or fix yourself, it's a little tougher.
When a team is frustrated, like you mentioned, how much of an advantage can a day off like this be, not just physically but mentally?
I think it can be really important. I'm always the kind of guy who likes to keep playing and keep it rolling, but seeing how we haven't gotten the results, it's nice to take a day and refresh the mind a little bit and come back at it and have a good practice tomorrow and then a big win on Sunday.
Adrian, Dave was talking about the dishonesty of the game and some of the embellishment without getting into specific players, but you've been around this league a long time. What are you seeing out there in terms of that, and is it getting to you guys?
Well, it is when we get in trouble because of it. I think, obviously we all know the refs have a really tough job, and there's always a fine line, but I always like to consider myself an honest player, and I always admire the honest players, and I'll leave it at that.